Movie Wars.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Movie Wars podcast. I'm Kyle.
I'm Seth, and we've got Dr. Ben
Dr.
back with
Ben.
us today. Say hello.
Howdy, folks. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. I just at the end of the episode noticed
Howdy.
your cowboy boots. I love it. I didn't notice that.
We're in
It's so
Nashville.
good.
We're in Nashville.
We are.
He changed his scrubs for this. If you
did.
watched last
It's
week's
a new week.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a new week. According,
I'm wearing the exact same clothes. I never change clothes.
yeah, I actually have 5 of these outfits. So I just,
That's actually a fully different outfit, but the exact same thing.
so if you're tuning in, we're talking about Flatliners today, and here's how this story. This is how the show goes. We talk about the history of the film. We go into randos, which are the most interesting things that we uncovered during research. The questions, which are questions that I write to generate comedic content, since we're comedians, or serious discussion. And then we finish out with what used to be kind of a meatier part of the show, the war card. We kind of do it rapid fire. We all give our final scores at the end of the show. Does that
Call
sound?
it the war zone.
The war zone. We're trying to stick up with that war theme because I don't want to pay to have a graphic designer make a new logo.
Yeah,
So we're going to figure out how to make this war thing work.
it's happening.
Yes. Flatliners. Flatliners.
1990 Joel Schumacher.
And we have Dr. Ben here,
Awesome.
who's not only an up-and-coming hilarious comedian, but he's going to give us some medical perspective
Yes.
here as well.
Yes.
So I don't know about y'all's first time. Was this your first time seeing this movie? But you suggested
I
it,
had
so-
seen it a while ago, so it was good to rewatch.
What was your first time watching this movie? Like what introduced you to this movie? Because I have a very particular story about this.
Okay.
It was, it would have been shortly after it came out. So,
Okay. Did you
high
see it
school.
in theaters?
No, it was probably VHS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good old blockbuster
VHS.
days.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So first time I saw this was 2013 during an 8-week ethics class I was taking at college. Basically, the way the class would work for those 8 weeks is we'd walk in. He would give us a 30-minute lecture. We'd watch a movie that'd be like an hour and a half to 2 hours. One of the ones that we watched was Crimes and Misdemeanors from Woody Allen. We watched this and a few others. And then we would have another 30-minute discussion about the ethics of the movie that we just watched. So that's how I was introduced to this. I absolutely hated the movie at the time. I have come to view it a little bit more fondly. I'm not going to say it's a good movie, but it is significantly better than I remembered it was for a couple of reasons, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were your overall thoughts of the movie? It's absolutely wacky.
Mhm.
I was kind of focused on now, rewatching it, the medical inaccuracies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I was
Which
telling
we'll get
him
into.
before the show. I was watching it, and I thought it was fascinating that finally a medical drama got the VFib thing down where you're using it to stop the heartbeat, but then they brought it back to restart the heartbeat. I was like, dang it, you lost me again.
Is that the thing? Is that a thing?
Yeah, so the defibrillating, so the whole title of the movie, Flatliners, when you flatline, that's called asystole, your heart has no rhythm. And when that happens, we do not shock that. That's not a shockable rhythm. So VFib, ventricular fibrillation, or pulseless VTAC, I don't want to get in the woods, but those are rhythms where you shock the heart, bring it back. When they're in asystole, they do not have any rhythm. We give, you need to do CPR, chest compressions, and we give epinephrine, but there's not a place for shocking the heart. But
I did notice at one point I think it was when Kevin Bacon was under, they were pumping him with lidocaine. Is that a thing that you do to restart the heart?
Is that for pain?
thought that's
that would
what it
be
was.
actually probably more for antiarrhythmic also when you have a funny
Oh.
rhythm, not necessarily for flatlining.
What would be the effect of that? Like if so I have a irregular rhythm and you give me lidocaine, like what would that do?
That would hopefully restore it to a normal rhythm. There's a lot of different antiarrhythmics they're called, like amiodarone or lidocaine. when
Okay.
they're in
Would
a-
it do it by like relaxing the area, or like how does that work? I'm just very
Right.
curious about this.
Well, you can kind of get in the woods with like action potentials and stuff, and sodium and potassium,
Okay.
and that's why when you give a potassium-rich solution, it can stop the heart because it messes with the what's called action potential, and your heart, the muscles contracting, so it goes
Okay.
into a funky rhythm. But that would be the idea behind like an antiarrhythmic.
So when do you introduce cocaine? Lidocaine's not working. When
Right,
does
where's the cocaine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if your heart's not beating, we'll throw anything.
Yeah.
Any canes.
Stuff it in his nose. Any cane
Sugar
you got.
cane,
Candy
cocaine,
cane.
candy canes.
Yeah. Michael Caine.
Michael
Yeah.
Caine.
Yeah.
That'd be-
Just shove Michael Caine in the room. That'll. Also, when in medical school do they teach you to scream, "Damn it, you're not going to die on me today"?
Yeah.
It's not your time.
Well, when's that class?
Not on my
Is that
watch.
3rd year, 4th year?
Right. And I don't know what year these medical students were, but yeah, they were not the usual medical students that we had in our.
Yeah, had a lot of free time.
Yeah, a lot of free time, and what a weird looking hospital school.
Yeah, shout out Loyola.
Oh, is that where this was
Yeah,
shot?
yeah, a lot. So a lot of them were sets, and there's a rando for this, but yeah, Loyola University.
In Chicago, but it kind of had like a
okay.
Hogwarts type feel with
Yeah.
the
Yeah, legitimately, like
cathedral.
Hogwarts in the 80s.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that's a room where an organ would be in an 1800s church where
Yeah.
they're like
Right.
fixing to cast the witches out.
Yeah.
That's kind of what
not
that
a
room looked
medical
like.
school.
Horrible lighting. Let's get into the history here. Flatliners. It was a spec script by Peter Filardi, and he was convinced that there was this story that he wanted to write because a friend of his had a near-death experience, and so he became obsessed with it. And so originally, the story of this, the setting of the story was Boston, and he became obsessed with this idea of doctors trying to figure out how to come back from life or come back from death. And so it turns out, too, that Joel Schumacher kind of has a weird penchant for death and is obsessed with it, which is why he wanted to do the script. And so there was a little bit of controversy because originally producer Scott Rudin bought it for $400,000, and he outbid his own studio for it, Columbia Pictures. Columbia was pissed because he was still under contract there, so they had to buy the property back from him, but they still let him produce. So we hate you, but you can still produce.
Right.
But then this is amazing too. Michael Douglas came in and he
I saw
acted as
that.
an executive producer.
I saw that.
No Stranger won the Oscar for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That
Yeah.
was kind of his early forward. People actually don't realize this, but before he was even a big time actor, he was mostly known as a producer.
I mean, yeah, when you come from a family like Kirk Douglas, then yeah, I can see
Yeah.
how you would already be involved outside of acting.
Right.
No nepo babies here. Nothing to look at here. Luckily, he's talented, handsome, and good.
Right.
All that. I mean, it worked in his favor.
Meritocracy.
It would be fun to go over the old 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea at some point.
Yeah.
with Kirk Douglas.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
With the squid, the giant squid.
the big arms. Oh,
I haven't watched it in a long time. I wonder how it would hold up
as probably as good as a 1950s sci-fi movie could ever hold
with a
up.
giant squid. Shout out to that squid.
Yeah.
And Joel Schumacher was kind of hot. He was coming off one of my top 50 movies of all time, Lost Boys. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like hyper 80s, and Kiefer Sutherland worked with him on that movie as well. If you haven't watched it, it's one of the best. I think it's the best vampire movie of all time. That's not serious. That's not like Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker
Or Nosferatu.
or Nosferatu, right? This is more like 80s glamour, getting back with the cocaine. Definitely some cocaine filmmaking on that. But yeah, and they ended up chasing the setting from Boston. He wanted to shift it to Chicago because of the architecture. Some of the original names that were attached to this, Val Kilmer and Nicole Kidman, were going to be the leads.
That tracks. That was just early enough in Nicole
Mm-hmm.
Kidman's career that I think she could have pulled it off a little bit better than Julia Roberts did, which she didn't do a bad job. But yeah, we'll get into.
I agree.
We were talking before the episode got started. Like, it's so hard to feel for any of these characters. And weirdly, it's like as much as I love Julia Roberts, like I didn't ever feel for her character at all.
Right.
And yeah, I think Nicole Kidman probably could have done a better job with that.
Yeah.
Who was Val Kilmer going to play? Was he going to be Kevin Bacon?
He was going to be Kiefer Sutherland's character.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that. That would
Yeah.
have worked.
Yeah, I spent most of my time hoping these characters didn't wake up.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, if we could make this movie 30 minutes where they keep just dying
Yeah.
and they just die off and we end this movie at 30 minutes and Oliver Platt's like, oh! Because it's so weird because I like so many of the actors here. I don't
Oh,
care
yeah.
for
Yes.
William Baldwin. I don't care for most Baldwins, okay?
Yeah, he was okay.
He was okay. But I love Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorite actresses. I love Kiefer Sutherland in Lost Boys.
Yeah.
He's got the same demeanor in Lost Boys. It worked then. It didn't really work in this one.
Yeah.
And a lot of what this movie is to me, this movie came out in 90, but it was filmed in 89.
Yeah.
So it's technically a 90s movie, but it very
80s
much
vibe.
feels so 80s.
This goes with Judge Dredd for me, and it's an 80s movie filmed with 90s cameras.
Yes.
And it has the look of a 90s film with the entire feel and production scale of an 80s film.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird.
Kiefer Sutherland even joked that they could have called it St. Elmo's funeral
Yeah.
or The
That's
Breakfast
great.
Club dies.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it has that 80s all-star cast kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta say, this is probably the best Kevin Bacon's hair has ever looked.
Yeah.
That was like a straight out L'Oreal commercial.
Yeah.
Just the entire time looking at his hair.
His
So
hair should have won
fluffy.
an Oscar
It should
for
have.
best supporting hair.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
had some good hair.
Absolutely.
Did you see his mustache in that show City on a Hill?
I did. Yeah.
Really good show.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's got a great mustache
Solid
there
mustache. Yeah.
too. Stir of Echoes. Remember that Kevin Bacon movie, Stir of Echoes?
No.
Kind of a psychological horror movie. That was an interesting movie.
Interesting.
I love Kevin Bacon. I eat lots of bacon. I like watching Kevin Bacon. Anything bacon related, I'm into. Bacon
Same.
bits.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's bacon time. Cocaine.
Cocaine. I like how you can associate just about anybody to Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
How many degrees of separation?
I have a Kevin Bacon number of either 4 or 5. Actually.
Wow, that's
I don't
low.
know this. What is
Yeah.
this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So with
Seth.
actors, every single actor has a Kevin Bacon association within 6 degrees.
6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have heard about this, but I've never understood it.
Yeah, mine is either 5 or 6. I can't
Wow.
remember. Yeah.
Okay.
So I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
You could,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
have an
to- I'd
association
go
with Kevin
back
Bacon.
and get it right. But I was in a movie with a friend of mine who was an extra in a movie with George Clooney, and then I think there was one more link in between George Clooney and Kevin Bacon. So yeah, I think I was at 5.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I thought for years when I was a kid, I thought Christian Slater and Kevin Bacon were the same person.
I can see that. I can see it.
Yeah, like Gleaming the Cube. Do you guys remember that skateboarding movie from
Yeah.
the 80s? I loved that movie, and it was Christian Slater. But I always just kind of every time I saw Kevin Bacon, I'm like, man, Christian Slater's doing a ton of shit.
Oh, that's great.
He's in everything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a different,
That happened.
that's a different guy.
I can see it. I
We
get
are
confused
confusing.
for Dr. Ken. So
Oh, Dr.
doctors,
Ken.
Yeah.
both Korean doctors, comedians. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, I was like, are you kidding me right now?
But we do have a lot of similarities. We're both from Michigan. We both moved to North Carolina. Both Korean, both doctors, Ken and Ben.
Yeah.
So
He
I'll have
loves
to point that out to him.
Yeah, we need to get y'all together so you can come up
We
with
can
like your own
collab.
podcast.
Dr. Ken, let's collab.
Yeah.
Yeah, loves the lidocaine.
Ken and Ben, MDs.
Lidocaine.
Paradox. We'll call it
Lidocaine
paradox.
everything.
There we go.
And if you are suffering from, if you've died and you're looking for a podcast on your way to wherever you're going,
Please comment.
if it's heaven, if it's Hades,
If it's being confronted by the kid you bullied to death.
yep, you need a podcast,
Yeah.
and it's Movie Wars. Check it out. Send it to your friends. Send it to your dead friends. Print off a picture of our logo and put it on the gravestone.
There you go.
You could have a medium, perhaps, put
Yeah.
some comments in
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we
the
go.
comment section.
Mediums they needed a medium in this movie.
So bad.
Speaking of that, I kind of thought forever that this was a Stephen King movie. I confuse white people, but I also confuse bad movies with
Yeah.
Stephen King scripts.
Yeah.
Because Tommyknockers, that straight to TV Stephen King thing, I always kind of thought Flatliners and Tommyknockers were the same thing.
That's fair. I
But-
feel like Stephen King has like a 25% track record where like
Yes.
25% of the movies made from his stuff are amazing and
Yes.
the rest of it are just absolute garbage.
When you write and I've read probably 40 Stephen King books.
Jeez.
When you write 500 or whatever he's written, and you actually even had a different name and just wrote under that for a while, you actually create your own tropes. And he suffers from his own tropes. And that is that telekinesis. Somebody's got to have telekinesis
Yeah.
and ancient evil entities like
Yeah.
it.
Even The Shining kind of
there's-
had that.
Yes. And he just does it over and over again. And I used to, talk about this on the podcast, but I'm like, I'm surprised Cujo didn't have telekinesis. He's just like, he gets a quarter through the movie. He's like, shit, I haven't given anybody telekinesis yet. Somebody's got to have it. And this movie felt like it could have been a bad Stephen King book.
A lot
Yeah.
of recurring themes.
Yes.
Leitmotif.
It's such a good like philosophical idea for a
Mhm.
movie. But we were talking about this earlier. I think this should have been a miniseries.
Yeah.
I don't think this should have been a 2-hour movie. I think this should have taken 5 to 7 hours to really get in depth with each of the characters. It probably could have taken 2 episodes before they even tried putting each other under, like the
Yeah.
first time.
Each character could have an episode
yeah.
of their backstory. and-
Legitimately. Like I needed more reasons to actually care about any of these people. But from the very first moment of the movie, it's so chaotic. It moves so quickly. You really have no idea what's going on or who anyone is. And it took me like until halfway through the movie to really understand who everyone was. And even then I felt like it was weirdly rushed.
Yeah. Yeah. None of
You
it
weren't
made
attached
sense.
to him yet.
No, not at all. I wasn't attached to him by the
At
end.
all,
The
at
only
all.
one I cared about was
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon at the end. And that's because he actually like tried to go and do a good thing.
Yeah. Big part of it was, for me, was I was really excited about the premise, but the hallucinations they have after death are not interesting to me.
That's where we hit the 80s element of it. It could have been, I've seen other movies, especially later on in the 90s and 2000s, handle stuff like that way better.
Yeah.
This was just so overly obvious that it didn't even feel like an artistic decision. It just felt like you didn't have any other way to do it.
Yeah.
It was like a Christmas Carol with stethoscopes. You're getting haunted
Yeah.
by your past sins.
The Kiefer Sutherland falling out of the tree scene was some of the most malpractice I've seen. You've got a big-time actor that falling out of the tree, he's obviously not really falling, and he's like swimming in midair. I'm like, it was almost like they forwent acting. It's like, we're going to forgo any acting in the hallucination scenes.
Yeah.
And it was so bad. The kid, I know he's a kid actor in 1990, and we're not really adept with really great kid actors at this time. But come on.
Yeah.
That was, all the kids in those hallucinations were horrible.
Yeah.
It took me out of it. And
especially the little girl when she's sitting there like calling him every possible slur, both PG and R-rated slur.
Yes.
She could call him. It was such a weirdly like, I almost felt like I was having an out-of-body experience watching this movie again.
I had flashbacks of being on stage at my comedy show.
There you go.
The heckling, all those.
Yeah. It is kind of you could actually say it's a good metaphor for bombing, because after you bomb, you definitely, if you like got 5 minutes left and they haven't laughed yet, that's how this movie feels. Flatliners is that's about all it's good for.
You ever bombed for 18 minutes straight? It is horrible.
It's great. Hey, where are you from?
Right.
But
the last time I had this is a little aside, but someone in the crowd say, "Good thing you didn't go into OB. Your delivery's terrible." So I was getting like flashbacks of getting that girl was giving me those vibes of the heckling.
Yeah.
Hope you're a better surgeon than you are a comedian.
Oh man. Opening yourself up.
Yeah.
A lot of medical jokes coming from the crowd.
Yeah. Hope your scalpel's sharper than your punchlines.
Oh.
But anyway, I digress.
I can one up you if you ever want to feel better about your heckles. I did a bit about at Waffle House. There was a club. It was like a hookah dance lounge in the middle of downtown Nashville. And remember the Waffle House shooter?
Yeah.
I did a bit about how when they caught him, I was like, you want to be really careful about where you kill people, because they're going to just call you that killer. And he was the Waffle House killer. It's like, you want to pick a Nordstrom rack or something really nice. Like, the Nordstrom rack killer. Some girl yells at me from the crowd, says, "My friend got killed in that Waffle House shooting."
Oh my God.
So and as a comedian, I was thinking, I got so many good comebacks for that. But I actually was like, okay, thank you. It was the one time I didn't know how to handle a heckler.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to feel bad about it.
And now we have a McDonald's killer.
Ooh,
wow.
I know. Pick nicer places if you want to start a career as a serial killer.
Be the Gucci killer.
Gucci, yes, Vegas, something better than Waffle.
The Ralph Lauren killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
like it.
Low-hanging fruit. Heckles, ladies and gentlemen.
The fruit of the loom killer. Come on, guys.
Yes. Yeah, if you've never done stand-up, Flatliners is a good way to if you want to know what bombing feels like.
Yeah.
Right.
Randos. So I guess if you want to say there's a good thing about this movie, it is what you said, that they did get some of the medical terminology, at least within
They started to.
And
they just said nope.
But they had a medical technical advisor named Ruth F. Ekholm. Do you know that person?
No, are they a doctor or what's a medical advisor?
It's a medical technical advisor. This could very much, just knowing Hollywood, this could be a person that pretended to be a really good doctor on a movie once, and they just kept him around.
Yeah.
They were like, you sound like you know what you're talking about.
He's like a Dr. Phil type. But he tutored everybody on proper medical procedures for the scene. So I guess he probably had some medical education. And he taught them how to properly flatline. He taught them about EKGs, EEG machines, signaling cardiac and brain death, respectively.
I just like to imagine that him teaching them to properly flatline, he was actually like taking them through the whole process, like shocking.
No, try it again. That's improper flatlining.
No here and here.
Yeah, and also because the writer was obsessed with it, he made sure that everybody was aware, and he brought in studies and stories of people of what they've really said they experience in near death or when they die and come back.
What a terrible movie to put so much effort into.
I know.
But there's a lot of anecdotes of near-death experiences that everyone's heard.
And one thing that's interesting that he injected is that based on his research, and maybe I don't know if you've encountered this. Seems like some crazy pseudoscience, but people that have near-death experiences often say they see tunnel of light and hear friendly voices.
Yeah.
But people that attempted suicide often remember troubled, emotional, painful near-death experiences. Specific to suicide. I don't know.
Interesting.
But he wanted to inject that into the movie.
I mean, so and I don't know how much you know about this, but like I've heard the theories. I've heard like I know your brain is supposed to release like a bunch of DMT right as you're about to die.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered if that's happening, if your brain is just flooding itself with all these chemicals that kind of do make it hallucinate, how much would that be influenced based on what is happening leading up to that moment?
Right.
Because I have done some hallucinogenics, people. I have done some mushrooms. And something that everyone always says when you're going to take mushrooms is the 20 minutes before and the 20 minutes right after you take them is really what's going to determine the vibe of the trip that you take.
Oh.
And so if you're anxious and if you're in a bad mood in that 20 minutes leading up to it, it's probably not going to go away when you take them, and it's probably going to put you into what would be a bad trip.
Interesting.
So that's where I'm like, that kind of almost lends itself to that idea of the people who just died naturally and were surrounded by loved ones, saw, a light,
Right.
and then things like felt warm feelings. But if you're in a already troubled state and your brain releases all that DMT, like, yeah, I could easily see that react to it. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I think it'd be highly individualized.
Yeah, 100%.
Not everyone having the same experience.
Yeah, which I guess does kind of lend it to this idea of as they all flatline, they all have these crazy different experiences.
Mine would be frantic and crazy.
Yeah. With a house with 4 kids.
Yeah. I when I drink 4 cups of coffee, sometimes I get just absolute wild hallucinations. This is kind of a crazy background thing that was happening. Chicago up until this point wasn't really considered, and I didn't really realize this until my research, but people didn't make a lot of movies in Chicago. Like it wasn't considered like a major era, but or major place to film. But Mayor Richard Daley was making a push to make Chicago a filmmaking hub, and it started with this movie. This movie helped trigger Chicago movie making.
Well, there's something good, I guess. We wouldn't have gotten The Dark Knight if we hadn't gotten this.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because Chicago, to me, seems like such a low-hanging fruit place to make movies.
I mean, but you have to think about how it was back in the 90s.
That's true.
I mean, as bad as like South Side is today, back in the 80s and 90s, like, oh my goodness, it was a hub of crime.
And why didn't they want to do it in Boston? Wasn't it supposed to be Boston originally?
There was like Joel Schumacher just had a penchant for Chicago. Okay. He just didn't think Boston was going to be a good setting for it.
I think, honestly, weirdly, I think it would have been better.
Yeah.
I think this should have been somewhat of like a Northeastern kind of story.
Yeah, Boston is really reserved for mob films.
I guess, but that's more.
No, I'm saying that as a negative thing. Like there's more to Boston. Like Boston's one of my favorite cities. Like there's more to it than like
Peyton just moved to Boston.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Peyton.
Yeah.
My favorite brother of Seth's because he's the only I've met.
Yeah, the one that he completely like dragged through the mud a few weeks ago.
I didn't know him then. I love you.
He listens to the episode and immediately texts me and goes, "Screw Kyle now."
I love you, Peyton. I'll make it up to you in so many ways. Ways that you can't even imagine. Ways that they haven't even written about in books.
Ways that only a father of 4 can do.
I will make it up to you. I'll get you a nice Christmas gift. And this is classified as a Brat Pack movie. It's kind of interesting. Brat Pack was a specific term given to these young ensemble cast movies.
Okay.
St. Elmo's Fire, and stuff like that. And so, but there was this joke where Joel Schumacher came out, and I don't know if it was
Kiefer Sutherland or
Schumacher said, we're going to either call it Breakfast Club Dies or St. Elmo's Funeral.
Right.
That's so good. That would have been so funny.
But this Brat Pack thing was interesting, man. Like they did have this weird trend in the 80s and going into the 90s where they had these young ensembles of up and coming actors.
Yeah.
So, and
I was expecting to see Emilio Estevez come out and get flatlined or something.
Yeah. I'm going to come out on the limb and say I don't like any of them. I haven't seen a Brat Pack movie that I didn't like. Breakfast Club. I didn't like St. Elmo's Fire. I didn't like any of those movies.
I actually haven't seen any of those, so I wouldn't know.
The best thing about
16 Candles.
Yeah, don't
Long
care
Duck
about
Dong.
that.
I have a script that is supposed to take those kinds of movies and kind of flip it because I feel like all those 80s movies have weirdly, unnaturally happy endings despite all the terrible choices everybody's made. And yeah, it's actually That's that giant squid poster right there in the background for those of you watching on video. That's the play that this script is based on.
Oh, wow.
And it takes a lot of those 80s themes and flips it into a real world scenario where you watch all these people think they're happy at the end of a long series of bad decisions, but you as the audience just feel very uncomfortable with it.
Oh.
Because I feel like that's already how most people feel watching those movies now.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what? You no, don't.
Yeah.
That's how I felt at the end of this. It's like they all did something colossally stupid.
Yeah.
And now they're all happy and good at the end of it.
That's crazy.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
I can see that Brat Pack type.
Yeah.
It was like the Tiger Beat magazine.
Yeah.
Just-
I didn't know that was the term for it. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good term.
My problem is that they are always older than they are depicting.
Right.
Yeah.
The actors are always older than, like, Kevin Bacon, I guess, is like, his character is supposed to be in his 30s in this movie, is what they said. I didn't research. I
Really?
guess he was supposed to be older than everyone else. He was supposed to be 30s. They never make it explicit.
He
Okay.
looks so much younger than
I know.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, he's got that Kevin Bacon factor.
Yeah.
And in medical school, there were some non-traditional students that had other careers, but typically if you went to medical school right after undergrad, you'd be around 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Any hazing in medical school? Anybody, like, you know, put
not
like,
that I can speak of, but
like, like Vaseline on the scalpel?
right.
You know, like, oh, he dropped it.
Or flatlining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone just walks up to you with a portable defibrillator.
Right.
Yeah.
Flatline.
Yeah.
Jumps out at you.
Jello shots before the surgery.
Right.
Yeah. Wearing the cadaver skin around. Yeah. I can see it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
That's also supposed to be esoteric. You're not supposed to know about that. But
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Doctors. Yeah, I know them.
And this is the end of Movie Wars.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Kyle mysteriously died 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
at a Waffle House.
Yeah.
And we buried him in a cadaver skin.
Medical students will be studying him now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. They're not going to like what they see. They're going to see an Osgood slaughters. They're going to put in a museum.
I think they're gonna love what they see.
Oh, they're going to love that big that what is it? Calcification?
Right.
that what
The
they call
tibial tubercle.
Yeah. I got to get that thing fixed. But they
Yeah.
say there's not really a surgery for it. So.
Kyle's
bummer.
like, have you seen
You
my
know-
tibial tubercle? It's huge.
Yeah.
Nobody has a tubercle bigger than mine.
Yeah. It's the biggest.
I've been sitting next to you for 10 months and have never once noticed this until this, like you
That-
mentioned these.
That it's huge.
And
Look
I'm
at
like,
that.
oh wow.
Look at that. For those on the camera, look at it. That's not supposed to be there. I thought that was my patella for a long time because it's so big. But
no.
this is your patella. This is not supposed to be here. My doctor finally said, he goes, holy smokes. I'm like, what? You don't want to hear that.
You don't hear your doctor saying, holy smoke.
Yeah, he's
Or
like-
oops.
Yeah, followed by, there's nothing we can do about it besides give you pills.
Yeah.
So,
But you do like hearing that's the biggest one he's ever seen.
yeah. And he says that to all the girls.
Yeah.
They're all special. The question.
The question.
The questions.
There we go.
Who did Life After Death better? Flatliners or The Sixth Sense?
I still haven't seen the Sixth
Oh my
Sense,
gosh.
but it got ruined for me, so I don't feel like I'd enjoy it at this point.
Yeah.
Because I feel like half the battle of that movie was like, clearly it's way more in the social zeitgeist than Flatliners has ever been. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to give it to Sixth Sense just out of respect.
Yeah. What do you think?
Sixth Sense. After Death and the Flatliners, which we might get into later, was definitely not realistic and believable. So
Yeah.
they're like brain dead for sometimes up to 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and then they're coming back and debating philosophy and 20 minutes later.
Well, the 12 minutes was at the end. That was the very end
Right.
of it. I thought the longest before that was
But yeah, they were
6 minutes.
building up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll start getting anoxia or brain death about 4 minutes or so.
Oh, I always heard
And then-
8 minutes.
Probably about 4 to 6.
Okay.
And then if you're after that, you're not up walking around and debating philosophy. You're probably in the ICU on a ventilator and
Or
With
having
some
sex
deficits.
or having sex with Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Right.
When do you get superhuman abilities?
right, like they all did.
Yeah. Like 16 minutes? Is that?
Right.
Yeah.
No,
That's-
don't try this at home.
That's when I can lift a car when I come back. I'm going to go. I know this is crazy. I've been hating on this movie, but I still think Flatliners is a better interpretation
Oh,
of
really?
it. Yeah. I never was part of the Sixth Sense hype. I liked Bruce Willis a lot, but I
Yeah.
never thought Haley Joel Osment he irritated me to death.
Interesting.
I just thought that movie was overblown. And I never understood why it was in the culture. At least this, for all of its faults, and this really, we haven't talked a lot about Joel Schumacher, but rest in peace.
We did one of his other movies. I forget
Yeah.
which one, but
Yeah.
we've done one of his other movies.
We did, yeah. And he's got a movie in my top 50. For all of his faults, there's no one that's more Joel Schumacher than Joel Schumacher.
Yeah.
He's not imitating anyone.
No.
He's kind of like and I also, what's his name? Boz, the director.
Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah, Baz Luhrmann. There's not him without Joel Schumacher. This hyper-saturated, he always enjoyed hyper-saturated colors. And when it works, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And when it's bad, it hits really bad.
Yeah.
But I do have to give him some credit. Like, I can't really compare him to anyone else. Yeah, Batman and Robin, is it really bad? Yeah, but Batman Forever's awesome.
Yeah.
And when it goes bad, it goes really bad. But he's original.
Yeah,
and
it is true.
I appreciate him, at least, when he's coming out of the 80s and going to the 90s with the movie. Yeah, I think it's a miss, but I still would take it over The Sixth Sense.
Good to know.
Yeah, which is weird.
Since we're on the Movie War podcast, do you know what the similarities were between Titanic and Sixth Sense? Icy dead people.
Oh,
sorry.
I love it.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was great.
Rose was the worst. I'm just
Yeah.
going to say it. What a not worth dying for,
Yeah.
in my opinion. She lured him in with the naked drawing.
It's
That's
true.
what happens.
Oh,
That's how
yeah.
they always get you.
That's how they
say
get you.
They
Yeah.
say, draw me naked, and then you're in the ice.
And there's
Yeah.
plenty of room on that door for two people.
Yes, there really was.
James Cameron actually, after MythBusters technically proved him wrong, he went back and did his own test and showed that it didn't work. It's so
Two
funny.
people couldn't be
Dude.
on the door?
Yeah.
Dude, James
'Cause it
Cameron.
would still have been, his argument was it would have been still just under the surface of the water. So they couldn't have both been on it and dry.
Okay.
James Cameron, one of the absolute greatest of all time, also one of the most arrogant, and gets married once per movie. So, but that's hilarious. I didn't know that they did a MythBusters.
Oh,
We should have him on the show,
Titanic
though.
episode of MythBusters. James Cameron, we would love to have you on.
Open invitation.
Yes.
Yeah, just be nice. Linda Hamilton's my girl. Okay, Linda Hamilton's my girl. So don't come in here with your Linda Hamilton hate. Is this an 80 movies and 90s clothing?
100%. Like I said, this is in 80s. This was such a perfect, like, if this had come out in 87, I think it would have been remembered way more fondly
Mm-hmm.
because I could forgive a lot of the mistakes that it made. But it legitimately felt like a high concept, low budget 80s sci-fi movie, but with 90s cameras and lenses. Like, I don't know.
I thought it was a music video for The Cure at first. Had that
Basically.
vibe going on.
Yeah, dude, it
Basically.
did feel like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that opening shot of Kiefer Sutherland walking up and just how disproportionately lit he is from the background. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
I will say, though, like I said, I liked it more because when I first saw it, I absolutely hated it. But this, I was like, okay, but now at this point, I appreciate where it was trying to go and what it was trying to do and the ideas behind it. I just think the execution could have been.
Absolutely. Then they did try it again. We'll talk about that in a minute. What do you think?
What was the budget for that film? Are we on low budget? Or 'cause I felt like it was a little low vibe.
Oh, no, 26 million.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
And it made 61.
Good for it.
Yeah.
Wow. Opening weekend, it made 10 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it yeah.
I felt like they got
Wow.
their like crash cart from the community theater.
But you said
production.
you said VHS. This would have been the ultimate VHS movie. Like,
Right.
I'm just imagining on a
yeah.
blockbuster, these actors on that cover.
Right.
Yeah.
This, you're renting that movie.
Exactly.
Because that's what a lot of it was.
Looking at the cast.
At the blockbuster.
Yeah.
It was like, it wasn't even knowing what the movie was about. I was like, look at that box.
Yeah.
I want that movie.
Well, that was also the thing for studios in general was they never expected to make their money back on the theatrical run.
Mhm.
They expected to make the bulk of their money in rentals
Yeah.
and sales afterwards. So
Plus,
Yeah.
hadn't Pretty Woman come out before this?
I think, I
Yeah.
think was that 88,
Yeah.
89?
89, I'm pretty sure,
okay.
yeah.
So you have Julia Roberts, and
Yeah.
then while Julia Roberts is in this,
Yeah.
I'm renting that.
I'm looking it up. 1990, actually, same year.
Same year. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
same
But I think
year.
a little earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, A Tale of Two Julia Robertses, because I love her, and this is one of the worst
Was this-
performances I've ever
Was
seen
this
from her.
The Julia Robertsonance?
Oh yeah, the Julia Roberts songs.
Sans coming out.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, when she's not a hooker,
Yeah.
yeah,
She's a med student who's killing herself.
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
This movie should have killed itself.
And she
seen-
did allow kissing on the lips, right, in Flatliners?
What?
Oh wait, tell me about this. I didn't see
Oh,
this.
well, no, from Pretty Woman. She doesn't allow kissing on the
Oh,
lips.
when she's hooking.
So, but, yeah, I think if
Hookers got to have rules.
What a weird random turn for her to just end up with Kevin Bacon's character.
Yeah,
Like there was no sexual tension between them ever, and then out of nowhere she's just in bed with him.
yeah, I know.
I was like, what?
Well,
and then in real life, didn't they start date Kiefer Sutherland and Julia Roberts?
they were
started dating
engaged
Oh,
and broke
from
it
that
off
movie.
in the middle of
that's
the
funny
movie.
as hell.
They started dating on that movie.
Yeah. That's Hollywood, baby.
Seriously though.
Lyle Lovett didn't mind
Yeah.
that they broke up.
To answer the question, it's totally, it took a minute. I'm trying to think of, to me, where the 90s became the 90s from a film perspective. And I think the first movie that I think of that I felt like the 90s was here was Point Break in 92 with Keanu, because Keanu was coming up. And then, it was like kind of like, this is what 90s action is going to feel like. I feel like it separated itself from 80s action.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't Arnold. It wasn't Sly. It was kind of its own thing. I think of The Crow.
Yeah.
Because The Crow,
great
1994,
movie.
had a really amazing 90s metal soundtrack.
Yeah.
It
was
had
way more stylized than most 80s movies were.
Yeah, and I think kind of 94, 92, that kind of maybe when we started to get a sense of this is the identity of the 90s.
Yeah.
But this feels like a cousin
80s.
to Lost Boys to me.
Yeah.
To his other movie.
I mean, like I said, it feels like Judge Dredd, which was very much stuck in the 80s for how it was made.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess you're not gonna get the flavor of the new just because it releases in a new decade. It's not gonna define the decade right away. But coming out in 90, filmed in 89, it's not advancing the needle in that way.
Do the Right Thing came out the year before this, right? That was 89. That visually that looked way better.
And it felt more modern.
It did. It really did.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, hell, Brazil came out in 1985 and felt more like a 90s movie. That felt like
legit.
Of course, Gilliam feels like Gilliam.
But he was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
He was very ahead of his time.
Yeah, because that movie, when you watch it, it feels like it could have been a cousin to 12 Monkeys, which came out.
Which also Terry Gilliam.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of felt like he was always modern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. I love this one. This is a hard one for me to answer, but which character did you hope the most didn't come back to life?
What was the Baldwin?
William Baldwin's character.
William Baldwin. Hated him. He was so unlikable in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I genuinely think one of the characters should have died.
Yes.
Not like all jokes aside, I think it would have been a much better story if one of the characters actually ended up killing themselves after the fact because they couldn't handle what they were going through.
Yeah.
And I think it should have been his character.
Yeah. Somebody should have died.
Yeah.
And from a medical standpoint, probably Kiefer Sutherland, who was under the longest.
Yeah.
He was down for,
right.
From a medical accuracy standpoint, it would have been him. But
yeah.
And then we never saw Platt's demons. He never went under flatlined.
Oh, yeah.
So,
he was the most annoying for damn sure.
For real.
I was curious what his demon was, though.
Under.
We don't know what his demon was.
And he's a great actor.
His demon was no one liked him.
Yeah. Yeah. This movie is weird. Like, I think Oliver Platt's a great actor, and it somehow made him so annoying.
Yeah.
I love him, but in this, I'm like, I can't stand him.
Yeah.
This is tough for me. All the Baldwins have basically run their course with me. Between Alec Baldwin, I used to love Stephen Baldwin, but he's out of his mind. I don't know how any Baldwin, but I'm actually going to go a different way. I love Kiefer Sutherland, but when I saw him falling out of that tree, I said, I hope you don't wake up.
Yeah.
Yes. None of their demons are interesting, though, and they're very oddly specific.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, you can be a bully in elementary school and still turn out to be an okay person.
Yeah.
Although he turned out to be a guy that wanted people to die and come back to life. So maybe there is a correlation.
Yeah.
But this sex taping or the nude women taping, that was oddly specific.
Yes.
Like, I don't relate to any of these demons. Like, I left $100 bill that my mom gave me at the store.
Yeah.
Like, but once I saw Kiefer Sutherland falling out of that tree, I was like, please die.
Yeah.
Please movie die.
Yeah. Have either of you seen the movie The Loft?
No.
Carl Urban is in it. James Marsden, and there's a couple other really good actors in it. It almost did a similar concept, but way better. It didn't do like the medical, like dying and coming back to life, but it did do a whole like facing your demons and facing the bad part of who you are. It did it significantly better in my opinion, with such a vastly different way about it. But yeah, this. As fun as the philosophical discussions were, I just never felt like they really led anywhere of substance.
Yeah, it didn't tell me anything about the human condition.
Yeah.
It didn't tell me anything about medicine. It just didn't inform me at all. And the visuals were so bad.
Yeah.
And the demons were so unrelatable.
Yeah.
And there was literally nothing throughout this movie where I'm like, I can sink my teeth into this. Like, and it managed to make 4 or 5, well, I'll say not William Baldwin, 3 really great actors, unlikable. 3 greats, like 3 people that will go down as greats.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon, Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, those are
Yeah.
Hall of Fame actors.
Absolutely.
Made them unwatchable.
Yeah.
So maybe the Flatline should have been the movie. The movie should have flatlined. It should have died in production.
I'll tell you what wasn't flat, Kevin Bacon's hair.
Nope. Kevin Bacon's hair was legit.
Yeah.
I love you, Kevin Bacon.
Best supporting hair. The Oscar goes
This
to-
was remade in 2017.
It was.
Should it have been?
Not as a movie.
Yeah.
I heard this was somehow even worse than this one, than the original one was.
Yeah, it was worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kiefer Sutherland reprises a character. He's a professor in the movie who teaches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't actually watch it, but that was my research.
Yeah.
But they cut most of his scenes out. So he's only in it for a little bit.
Yeah, I think
Not
the
worth
only way you
remaking.
could have done this well is to have longer to really get in depth of who they were.
Right.
Because that being in it for this type of story, being in a 2-hour format, I don't think lent.
Right. What do you think?
Not worth remaking. So the
Yeah.
first one was a flop. Why would you?
Yeah. Well, and there is a cult aspect to this movie. There are people that love this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of people that have. It also obviously did great at the box. And a lot of people have positive associations based on my research. I'm just not one of them.
Yeah.
I'm hard enough on remakes of good movies that they're doing. I always think it's hilarious when they take something really bad
Yeah.
and be like, maybe we can make it good this time. And
Well,
then-
I mean, I feel like that should be the point of remakes, is to take a cool concept and make
Yeah.
it better instead of taking a good movie and just crapping all over it.
yeah, they got a worse cast together.
Yeah.
They got a lower budget.
Yeah.
They're like, we can do it this time. We can. We can bring Flatliners to life. We can resurrect it.
Didn't they even kind of change the concept of it?
Yeah, it's different.
What's the
Yeah.
premise now?
I think actually that it's like a new set of students.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a new set of students. And they're trying to I think I didn't watch it, but I believe they stumble upon the research of the old group.
Oh, so it's a sequel.
Yeah, it's like there's an
It's
argument.
a weird sequel.
Yeah, it's like a reboot, remake thing. It's like, I don't know. There was a lot of arguments over about it online
Interesting.
that I read about.
That's so weird.
I'm not going to watch it because, I don't know, the first one was horrible.
Yeah, and
So.
like I said, I've heard it's even worse. So
Last question before we do the who won, who lost, or who or what won and lost. It's hard to say. Would any, and this is where I want you to shine, would any real medical student actually follow this experiment? Is there any practicality or any reason why this should exist in real life, this type of study?
Well, I think all of us probably have curiosity about death and near-death experience and wanting to
Mhm.
know what's beyond, and that's why they did this, was out of curiosity. And so I would think, but medical students do not have the knowledge or the capability of stopping and restarting hearts, and
yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like, or the time to dedicate to something like this.
right.
so this study would not get by any IRB or Institutional Review Board or ethics committee. So there was a declaration of Helsinki that was put out with regards to informed consent and risks and benefits, and so I don't think anyone would approve.
Yeah,
And then, what if someone had died? Would they all be like charged with manslaughter?
yeah.
So
Didn't they say they signed waivers?
Yeah, there was like a letter that said, oh, this will prove that you're innocent.
Yeah.
Yes.
They had an envelope.
yeah, I think it said you will die. You might not come back, but you will face your
Right.
childhood demons through
Yeah.
hallucinations and
Yeah, it's a bad deal
Yeah.
right.
all around.
So I don't know about any practicality. I don't think anyone would purposely try to experience death in hopes of coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said before we started the episode, the only thing I've ever heard of that even kind of got close to this concept was the idea of like weighing the soul as it left the body. Like,
Mhm.
and I mean, I know the Nazis did all sorts of horrific death studies with all of the things they were doing, but like that's the only reason we know as much as we do apparently about like how the human body decays is just because of how like with their medical experiments.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like at this point, you wouldn't. Why would you put people for a philosophical question? There is no practical application
Yeah.
to what you would get out of this. This is nothing but a philosophical quandary.
Mhm.
And yeah, I feel like there's no reason why you would ever put people's life in danger over philosophical quandaries.
Yes, high mortality rate, and if you did survive and were brought back, you would definitely have probably very serious neurologic deficits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not walking around and taking a test tomorrow morning at 8:00 in medical school.
Yeah. Embedding Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still having perfect hair.
Yeah. And still haven't. Yep.
That might be a desired side effect, but
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand, and to me, for the movie, like there probably were 50 different more interesting ways to handle this premise than they did.
Oh yeah.
Like, what if they came back as a serial killer? Like, all their worst instincts came to life and they
Right.
came back, and
Yeah.
one of them came back as a serial killer, or instead of like being tortured by these demons, like that were not interesting at all. There was just a lot of different ways they could have taken it.
Yeah.
But in real life, yeah. I mean, unless we find out that like when you die, like something really interesting happens when you die, like the worst job you ever have, you just do for eternity.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, when I was a teller at that bank, you know, now I'm a teller at the Bank of Heaven.
Yeah.
And I get screamed at because I can't count change. You know, that's really specific.
I lost my job as a bank teller.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
And look at you today.
Well, a woman came in and asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over.
Oh,
So I gotta put in a few singers in there.
See, you just said something that now I've come up with a way better movie
Yeah.
with the same concept. They die, there's some sort of full process they have to go through in, let's say, the 3 minutes that they're dead before they come back. One person gets brought back too early and his actual subconscious is lost in his subconscious, and he comes back as someone else, and they have to put him back through that process to bring his actual conscious. That would have been a way better movie.
We just thought of that in 30 seconds.
Literally. Come at me, Hollywood. I want to do this.
Joel Schumacher, a fantastic filmmaker sometimes,
Yeah.
had a whole whatever amount of time to write this, and he didn't think of anything better.
Yeah.
And we just came up with something. Literally, what you just said was
Yeah.
more interesting than this whole movie.
Kind of
think
like
so.
Me, Myself, and Irene with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Maybe like
Yeah.
an alter. You come back as your alter ego.
Exactly. Like
You know,
how
we got to
that-
get the old Seth back.
Yes.
What do we do?
Let's
Yeah.
We
do
don't like
this.
we don't like his alter ego.
Yeah, it's just it's just a dumb premise, and there were a lot of better ways.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be an interesting one, but who or what won the movie, and who or what lost the movie for you?
What won the movie for me was Kevin Bacon's hair.
Yes.
Absolutely best performance of the whole movie. I was convinced the whole way through. It was fantastic. I honestly, I think the culmination of everything is what lost the movie for me.
Yeah.
I think there are some good aspects. I think most of the background cast actually was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think overall the direction and the writing really tainted everyone else's performances.
Yeah.
And so for me, it just, it was kind of from a top trickle down. Like it just kind of all got tainted.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what you took Kevin Bacon's hair. That was definitely a winner.
Mm-hmm.
And then just from a medical standpoint, as a doctor, just it's replete with medical inaccuracies. Even from when they're performing CPR and they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
Well, yeah, because it was always 1,000,
Yeah,
1,000. It's like, no,
and then-
that's not.
right.
Even I know that's not.
And a
how you
code
do
you're
that.
getting on, and you're breaking ribs, unfortunately. But
Oh yeah.
it's not this
Have you seen The Pit yet?
pit.
Oh, it's a great show on HBO. It kind of follows.
Okay.
Speaking of Kiefer Sutherland, it follows the 24 format where every episode is an actual in-show hour. And it's the emergency room in Pittsburgh, and it's a 17-hour day, and you follow it hour by
Okay.
hour. It's really good. Apparently one of the most like medically accurate shows that's out right now. So,
But I couldn't help but just kind of pick it apart from a medical standpoint of that's not the ratio of compressions to rescue
Yeah.
breaths, or
Yeah.
you don't defibrillate asystole flatlining, but
yeah.
but even other stuff like where he breaks the truck window and the back is soft open,
Yeah.
and the kid's in there and he's breaking the driver's window, like just go around the back where he is, and
Yeah.
it's
A lot of
But,
continuity errors.
Yeah. Nothing beats Grey's Anatomy, though. Also known as the unluckiest hospital on the planet. Yeah.
I could be on there though. Maybe I'd be Dr. McFunny.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. There
Okay.
you go. So you said
I'm
what?
available, Dr. McFunny.
Yeah, he's casting call. So what did you said the medical inaccuracies lost it for you. Did something win it for you? What did you say?
Well, I might have to steal Kevin Bacon's hair. That was
Yeah.
should have won an Oscar, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. This movie
The
did
only-
get nominated for sound editing. Actually, it won for sound editing.
wow.
Really?
Yeah, it won an Oscar for sound editing.
I mean,
so,
of all the things that went wrong with this movie, the ADR was actually pretty on point. And
Yeah.
I was not mad at the sound effects. Like
Yeah.
nothing, whatever was happening on screen, I never audibly thought something was off. So
Yeah.
good for them.
you were too distracted by the horrible premise.
Pretty much.
The bad performances.
Yeah.
What won this movie for me is Joel Schumacher. When he swings big, he misses big, but he also takes some big swings and wins.
Yeah.
And he's had a few to me in my book. Again, Lost Boys is in my top 50. I think it's an amazing vampire movie, and it's super stylish. And he there's really not another person like him. And God, again, rest in peace. But I also, this is a big miss from him. But I also appreciate his creativity, his individuality as a creative, and I do think he has a lot to offer as a director. I just think he misses really big sometimes.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate the attempt here. What's bad? If I had to pick one thing, and there are so many bad things, it's so hard to get this many good actors to act so badly.
Yeah.
I just across the board, not a single performance here.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's distracting him from getting good performances because nothing else is interesting.
I wonder if there was like production issues that they were dealing with.
Maybe.
That just kind of distracted from him being Bob.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this felt like. It felt like I could feel the behind the scenes bleeding into it. And there was something external affecting everything else.
Julia Roberts, who, when I think about, she won the Oscar for Erin Brockovich. Like, she can be so animated and she can be so lively. And I've seen some performances from her where she's just really electric.
Yeah.
And there's none of that here.
Yeah.
Everyone's drab. And I get it. The context is drab, but like, you're not telling me one person in this group has a sense of humor about death. Like, no one's like cracking, like you're a doctor. You just cracked a death joke.
Right.
It's like no one in this group can crack a joke about this.
Right.
Everyone's so damn serious the whole time. Lastly, the setting. And I realize that Loyola apparently has a room that looks like this, but it looks like a room where like sacrifices happen.
Yeah.
Cathedral, like some incense and candles.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is funny because eventually Peter Filardi would also write The Craft, that witch movie, which I actually really liked.
Interesting.
But also, funny enough, and we'll get to this on the scorecard, but Jan de Bont was the cinematographer, the director of Speed, Twister.
Oh.
Yeah, he did the cinematography here, which is funny because it's so
that's
bad.
Cool.
But yeah, there's just I just weird watching, and these actors are in their prime here, and they're just doing bad.
Yeah.
Just literally, like Oliver Platt, who I think is one of the greats, is just annoying here. So congratulations, dead Joel Schumacher. Maybe you should have come back from dying. Okay, that's dark. I love you, Joel Schumacher. Sorry, I don't know how I'm going to handle that in the edit.
To the war zone.
To the war zone. All right. As a reminder, we've retooled the war card. It's a rapid fire, host by host breakdown of how we felt about cast, writing, directing, and what's in front of us.
Unfortunately, the cast is a no for me. It's like, as great as the actors are outside of this movie, there was just not a single good performance on the main cast, and the couple of people in the supporting cast who did do well, I don't think could outweigh how bad everyone else was. So it's a no for me on that. Writing is also going to be a no. Like, unlike you, I actually really think there's some meat with the premise, but I think this has just not been handled correctly.
Right.
The premise could have been really good if it had been executed well, and I think it especially started to go wrong with the script in general.
Was it dead on arrival?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm just going to ignore you on that one.
Charge the paddles.
I was going to go no for directing, but you've actually changed my mind a
Really?
little bit because I kind of agree with you. At least he swung hard for an original concept and an original kind of way to go about it, so it's going to be a squeak over for me on directing.
Interesting.
Good job, Joel Schumacher. At least you tried. I've seen so many other people with so many other bad movies where you can tell they just gave up, and I feel like he still was doing everything he could to get it across.
True to himself.
So, yeah, exactly. It is going to be a squeak under for me as far as what's in front of us because I disagree with you. The cinematography itself is incredible, but it's the lighting that's terrible, and that's a whole other department. And a lot of that I feel like probably had to do with Joel Schumacher's directing in how weirdly unnaturally contrasty the lighting was. Either it was too orange or you would switch between just straight up red to straight up blue. But the cinematography was good. Like, I actually really liked the way the camera moved and where the camera was and what it was doing. And I agree with the Oscars. The sound design was pretty great. I'm sure it had some pretty terrible competition that year. So, I mean, good for them. You won on that one, but it is going to be a squeak under for me. Like, it just, the great things were not good enough to really pull up everything else that went wrong.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me, the lighting, I don't know if this is where it broke for you. I didn't notice how bad the lighting was until the diner scene when they're talking in that cafeteria.
Oh, no, I actually like that scene in
Really?
particular.
I don't understand why the lighting was so, it was like pink and blue, and I was like, this is a cafeteria.
Yeah, for me, it really broke the few times it would just switch to straight red. for no reason.
Yeah.
There's no external reason for it to switch to red other than, oh, I guess now they're in the nightmare state. But I don't know. It just, it did not communicate what I think he was trying to communicate.
Makes sense. What do you think?
Yes, for an all-star cast, very disappointing acting. So a no from the cast, even though it was a great cast. The acting was left a little to be desired. So writing, good premise, but not believable for me, especially from a medical standpoint. And I did not get any medical school vibes from that movie, even though they're all supposed to be in medical school.
Even the exam room didn't feel like a medical room.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're having medical school in a cathedral or church or at Hogwarts or something. So, and then directing, I'm having a hard time giving yes to any of these.
That's fair.
That's
hey,
fair.
no,
So-
do whatever you feel you want to.
Yeah. You hate it.
No. And then same with what's in front of us. Just did not get any vibes of connecting with any characters, any believability from a medical standpoint, but where the premise was interesting and we were curious about near-death experiences, but for them all to have the same kind of near-death experience where your demons come back to haunt you. and
Right.
Yeah.
Hallucinations. So I guess
Yeah.
no for me.
That's fair. 4 no's
Big-
on your side.
Big no.
Yeah.
Cast. What's funny is Lost Boys is cheesy. There's a lot of cheese in it, but it for some reason it feels like that's what it's supposed to be and it works. Here, like I'm just like, it's not that it's cheesy, it's just like there's no direction.
Yeah.
Everyone's flat. Like there needed to be one dynamic character. Somebody, I actually think it would have vastly been improved if not everyone was so damn serious the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
One person to be a counterpoint, and there is no counterpoint in this movie. We also don't meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
Outside of the group, like there's the waitress.
Weirdly large credits though for the cast.
Yeah.
Like, there's a weird amount of people on.
Yeah, but you don't really get to know any of them. And like you said, you don't actually get to know the main characters.
Yeah.
And that's probably another reason why we don't care about their demons, because we don't actually care about them anyway. So
Exactly.
it's like, I don't
We
care
don't
that
know
you
who
have
they are.
demons.
Yeah.
You seem boring and annoying. And so it's a big no. I mean, I hate to say it, it's one of the biggest no's in history for me. Writing. I don't understand what these medical students are doing with their other time.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, you got to have this premise. Let's say this is a good premise. I still think it would have added to it if we see just little glimpses of their real life as medical students.
Absolutely. That's where I think being
Yeah.
a miniseries could have lended to that.
Yeah.
Is you could spend more time on their actual lives.
Yeah. Like what was interesting, like hearing you describe some of the experiences you had in medical school and the classes and where you learned certain things, like just a little tiny bit of it.
Yeah.
Just to know that these are real medical students and they don't just spend all their spare time trying to revive their dead friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you have an exam tomorrow. None of these, they don't
Yeah.
have an exam tomorrow. None of them.
Yeah.
No one's.
Definitely not realistic.
Until the one exam where they're cutting open cadavers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only school activity we see besides this medieval looking room they're in.
Yeah.
So I
One
don't.
time, Julia Roberts was cutting open a cadaver and she puts her messy glove to her mouth and nose. I was like,
Yeah.
that would not happen. And
No.
Yeah, and you would probably vomit if you
Right.
did that by
Yeah.
accident. Like if you sneeze, like oh my god.
Chew.
Yeah. Just nothing. Yeah, there's just no directing. And I do love that. It's funny that you took what I said to go with squeak over. I still do go. I'll say squeak under.
Yeah.
Again, I appreciate the attempt. There's just a lot of malpractice here.
Yeah.
There's just nothing's working for this movie. And you're right. Some of the images and the cinematography is good, but there's some major missteps. The Kiefer Sutherland falling out of the tree being the biggest one.
Yeah.
I can't believe that made the final cut. It's 1990.
Just imagine how bad the other takes were.
Yeah.
if that made the cut.
That's what that means.
Someone sat in to look at the final cut of this and thought that stays in.
Yeah.
And I'm
Right.
just like, whoever that
That's
person is,
realistic.
they should have flatlined.
Let me tell you what I think the situation was. They watched it and they were like, "What's that?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, that's the best one." It's like, "I don't believe you. Show me the others." And then they watched the others and they're like, "Oh no,
Okay.
you're right.
Yeah, that's
You are right. That is the only okay."
Did they have to test people falling out of trees to see?
Maybe. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Doing the air swim
yeah.
freestyle.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Was he on a wire? Was he laying on a platform and they only filmed the top half of his body? I mean,
what a lot of times what they'll do, is just lay them on a green screen or blue screen and then just go,
it was so bad.
yeah.
I can't believe it passed muster. And there's a lot of those. There's mishaps. I mean, I just think I've seen this man make really, and he took Batman Forever, which is a very boisterous attempt at Batman IP.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah.
And he has a big cast in it. He has a bigger cast than this. And he manages to get a cohesive, fun experience going with Val Kilmer, Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones, Nicole Kidman. Here, he's got an arguably, yes, younger version, but a big cast here and just nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing, but yeah, it falls short. And then what's in front of us? I do agree. You almost changed my mind. I do think the cinematography is great, but I don't like any of the sets.
Yeah.
I don't like where they're located. I don't know why the diner is colored like that or the cafeteria. And I understand there's an argument to be made for movies that feel and look like a dream the entire time.
Yeah.
And I love The Crow, which a lot of The Crow feels like a fever dream.
It does.
But it works because the music is working. There's action. There's a lot of counterpoints. Yeah, really great soundtrack.
If this had been set in the Crow universe and the setting around where they were was as fever dreamish, I probably could have accepted it.
Yeah.
But clearly they were trying to make everything outside of what they were doing feel real.
Yes.
And it just didn't translate.
Yeah, and it needed that because what they're doing is very abnormal.
Yeah.
But their whole world that we're being presented is abnormal.
Yeah.
Like the coloring's abnormal. Like everything they're doing, like there's no point where you're like, man, they're the weird ones. Here's the normality. There's no counterpoint anywhere. And I just think visually there maybe have been some settings that could have made us feel like we were in reality more. Maybe an improvement to the way the hallucinations looked. Just something to give us something to feast on. And there's nothing here.
Nothing.
Straight 04 for me. This is
Fair.
a big no.
Yeah.
Well, what
we
didn't
go.
flatline was you, my friend. You crushed it.
Thank you both for
Absolutely.
having me.
Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here. We're
Yes.
very happy to have you.
Yeah. What are some other
Appreciate
good medical movies before we head out? When you, as a practitioner, when you think of good medical?
Or
maybe
shows.
you guys
Or
could do
shows.
like maybe Spies Like Us. They were Chevy Chase. They pretend to be surgeons.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're all in the room.
Yeah.
Doctor, that one.
Oh,
So-
okay.
And they're actually trying to perform a surgery. And
Yeah. He did that in Fletch too. Dr. Rosenpenis. Because all the doctors on the board have a Dr. Rosen something. And have you seen Fletch?
No.
I think it's maybe the greatest comedy film of all time. He's like, I'm Dr. Rosenpenis. I mean, Dr. Rosen. But
Nice.
great. Well, dude, you were great.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Hope to have you back.
Absolutely.
Go check out his socials. How do we find you again?
Dr. Ben Comedy. Dr. Ben Comedy.
This dude's hitting up zanies. He's all over the place. I'm Kyle.
I'm Seth.
Dr. Ben.
Love y'all.
The Movie Wars.